Hey guys, good morning. It's about 5:50 Tuesday morning. Everyone I think is probably just getting up. I just had a blood draw. I would turn the lights on, but it's not a great live shot with the lights on. They get really bright and then they get really dark and distorted. So anyway, I just wanted to give you an update on this journey that I'm going through. That I am very, very blessed and lucky to have you guys to continue on with. As you can see, I'm now sort of in a recovery room. I'm no longer in my surgical suite. We've moved beyond that stage, which is good. And I have moved to what's supposedly an easier floor, but for me, certainly when I moved here on Sunday, that has not been the case. Yesterday, I did not post a video because yesterday was just a really, really hard day, and I was barely even able to share that day with myself and my family, and then of course when Scott came yesterday, it was all I could do to not break down when just by him walking in the door. In fact, when he did walk in the door, I did actually break down. Um, but let's just see. Yesterday, I found out that well, let's go back on Sunday. Sunday, I did try to walk. I put a post up that I tried to walk. That didn't go over very well. When I put my right leg down, it feels like basically I'm turning on a light switch to a lot of electricity that goes all the way up into my right thigh. That has to do with how aggressive Dr. Stavros was when he initially went in on Friday. And I'm grateful to him for doing that. That's something that we had agreed upon, that we were going to be really, really aggressive this time. We were going to go in and try and get this stuff out and clean all this stuff out as best we could, because me living in serious pain and actually my quality of life, being able to walk without having to stop and sit down, and my legs being able to swell, with me able to get my shoes on. Some days I can't get my pants on. Those are real days for me. And most of you that see me are usually greeted with a smile and a joke, and sort of a happy-go-lucky Gabe, and that's my gift to everybody, and it also helps me deal with it. But anyway, so that was the plan, as you saw in the video with Dr. Stavros. Those are the hopes and goals. And on so Saturday, I went back and had the second procedure, but it was with another doctor, a doctor that I've had before. That in retrospect, I wish I had objected to. Dr. Stavros actually had to leave and go to London Friday after my surgery. He stayed to do my surgery, and he came up and visited with me and my family for about 30 to 45 minutes, my mom and Scott. And I don't know, I keep pointing to Scott. He's not here. There's nobody here. I just woke up because they came and took blood from my arm. But anyway, but so anyway, the plan was that we were going to go through another day of the lytics procedure and do some more cleaning out of the iliac vein. Dr. Stavros was actually able to get to that iliac vein that was completely occluded over, and he was able to reach a stent. Now, I've had these surgeries now going on for 6 years, and this was the first time we were able to get as far as we were. So it seemed like we were headed for some really, really good progress. And here's the contract that Dr. Stavros and I have with one another, and it's a mutual understanding that when you have a lot of chronic clot, it's very difficult to get rid of them, no matter how much fancy machinery you have or much medication. They basically calcify and turn into a rock. So that's what a lot has gone on in my right groin. So that's where a lot of the pain and stuff is going, is coming from. So anyway, he had left some of the sheaths, as I had shown in the other video, in my leg, and the plan was to leave them in for another day. We were going to go in, and I guess Dr. Kim was going to go in and copy exactly what Dr. Stavros had done on Friday, do it one more day, and leave the clot busting medication in. The theory being, and this is again going back to what Dr. Stavros and I have an understanding with each other, is the objective is never to clearly get rid of the blood clot unless it's brand new. If it's brand new, then yeah, we do try to get rid of it. But if it's a chronic clot, we know that we're not going to get rid of all of it. So the difference that has always made a difference with me is if you, when Dr. Stavus can take just a minuscule amount, just like a hair follicle size, means the difference between me being in excruciating pain and me being pain free for a certain amount of time, and definitely being able to walk. Um, that didn't occur this time. Unfortunately, there may have been some miscommunication or just some different plans that took shape after Dr. Stavus left. But when I went down for surgery on Saturday afternoon, Dr. Kim just decided he was going to take all the sheaths out and just be done with it. Um, Unfortunately, that wasn't what I had discussed with Dr. Stavus. That's not what Scott or my mom had discussed with it. Dr. Caulfield, who you have not met on here, who has actually been taking care of me, my primary, been taking care of me on here. He's been really, really great. That's not the conversation that he had previously either. So yesterday, to the worst day ever, started out with me getting news that from my hematology team that my scans showed that the surgery that I had was a complete failure. We were able to get in, and Dr. Stavus was able to get in and go as far as he could and leave that stuff in. And he left that stuff up to Dr. Kim, and Dr. Kim sort of dropped the ball on that and removed all of those apparati out of my leg. So now I'm in all this pain and swelling and hot fevers and an infection and all those kinds of things with really no end result. Instead of being in less pain, I'm in a lot more pain. And the hematology team was very upset because they thought that I had already been told what the scans were. So they were quite devastated, I think, to be the bearer of bad news. And if any of you know me very well, you know that I don't like to cry, for one, and I don't like to cry in front of people. But yesterday, of course, I got very emotional and started crying in front of them. And they apologized and they left. And when they left, I just sat in my room and I cried for a good hour because all of this has been for nothing for now. And then on top of that, since Sunday, I've been dealing with really, really bad migraines. I'm sorry, since Saturday, I've been dealing with really bad migraines. I've had to take the nasal injectable spray of Imitrex every day to clear that up. I haven't been sleeping at all. Obviously, you can say I'm up very early today. I don't get to sleep during the day, even though I have a private room, and and this is a really, really nice hospital. Um, and then yesterday, next door to me was a gentleman who suffered from some mental handicaps, and my heart went out to him when I moved into this room on Sunday evening. His handicap was that he was quite confused. I don't want to speculate what he had, maybe Alzheimer's, but it's certainly not my place to speculate. But he was in pretty bad shape. But what that did was that left him yelling for hours upon hours upon hours upon hours upon hours at the top of his lungs. And he was my next door neighbor. So we shared a wall. And even though they had his door shut and my door shut, I could still hear him at the top of his lungs screaming. And he would never take a break. And it felt like he was throwing things in his room and tearing his room apart. And that stress, on top of the stress that I was already going through, just started to break me down considerably. So yesterday, when that did not subside, he actually started really early yesterday morning screaming again. And the nurses would come in here and tell me, they would apologize. And it's sort of like, well, I don't know what you can do for me except make him stop. And he would just get louder and louder, and I was dealing with the all the pain that I'm going through. I'm in a bed that I can't walk. I have to get help to go to the restroom. I can't put pressure on my leg yet. It's still pretty bad. There's still no talk of when I may get to go home. I'm still running fevers at night, and all kinds of things are happening with me. And now we're talking about whether or not to try this surgery over again, but waiting until my personal surgeon, Dr. Stavros, actually returns back from London. So, and as you can hear, something is beeping, and that's again another noise. But this guy yelled yesterday all day long, and they didn't actually move him until probably 11 o'clock last night. So I had a meltdown. I didn't. I really didn't have any visitors yesterday. I just couldn't deal with people. I sat in my room with the TV on mute and just sort of stared at it. And then part of the day, I had the TV on and I just turned it up as loud as I could. Not that I was listening to it, but I was just trying to control the sound. So I Scott called me actually yesterday, and I answered the phone crying, and he was like, "What's going on?" And I said, "I just can't talk about it on the phone. I can't talk about it anymore. I'm blue in the face." And it was just a bad day. And then we got behind on my pain medication because when I take a nap or sleep at all, I don't press my PCA button, and it's not automatic. I have to press it. And when I sleep, I don't press it, and therefore my body is getting behind on medication that's helping the bruising and swelling and stuff on my leg. So my doctors that covered me yesterday are friends of mine as well, and they were like, "If you need anything, just call us, have the nurse page us, and we'll take care of you." So I did that yesterday, and unfortunately, we got handed off to a doctor that were not my doctors, just some kid answering a page who kept saying no to my request to come in and fix my PCA machine. And so not only did I sit in pain all day yesterday, was told no that I couldn't have any help after being told I could. I had to listen to this man yesterday scream all day, and then I was told that my surgery was botched. So, and on top of that, I can't walk, and I don't know when I'm going to get to go home. So, hopefully, today is better. I got an email last night on Facebook, and you could probably see it from my cousin Michelle. And that email lifted me up last night in the middle of the night. And I want to say thank you, Michelle, for saying those kind words to me because they were a big deal. And, I'm a person that can get through this, and I will get through this. And sorry. Anyway, and then Scott came last night and stayed with me until pretty late, and we did really well. And so anyway, today is a new day. We're gonna start this day over. The man has been moved. I'm gonna get questions answered. I'm gonna make sure that I have all my doctors who are my friends, their pager numbers. I'm gonna be going around everybody today and doing, I guess, stuff on my own. And today I'm gonna try to see what it needs to take to maybe take a quarter of a lap down the hall, or get to the John without help, which I have not been able to do yet. So keep I will keep you posted. I have yesterday was a bad day. Sunday was a bad day. Today is Tuesday, and it's a new day, and we're gonna make this better. I'm gonna beat this. I didn't come out of this the way I wanted to. I may have come out of this a little bit worse, but if it takes starting over, then we'll start over. And I just want to show you my leg today because I've been doing those things and keeping you updated. But this is just a token of the pain that I'm going through. This is one of the bruises that's now shown up internally from how far up they were able to get in my leg. But